Sorry, so it's actually been like a really long time since I filmed a YouTube video, um, um, and that's because like in the last like probably 2 years I've really been focusing on myself, and that's really what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get into the video. So basically, today's video is going to be talking about mental health. I do struggle a lot with my mental health, and I have done in the past, which really is not very good. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about that today, because I don't really feel like I've touched on that, growing up with a parent who was severely mentally ill, in a video that I'd done like quite a while ago. But yeah, let's start at the beginning. So basically, today's video is going to be talking about mental health. I do struggle a lot with my mental health, and I have done in the past, which really is not very good. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about that today, because I don't really feel like I've touched on that, growing up with a parent who was severely mentally ill, in a video that I'd done like quite a while ago. But yeah, let's start at the beginning. So basically, I'm going to be doing my makeup while I talk about this because I have to get ready for work. But so basically at the start, well, last year I got into a relationship, and I mean, I kind of had struggled, I guess, with my mental health previously to that, but nothing really to the point of me like going and actually doing something about it. It took me until said relationship ended, because I was, yeah, not in a very good place when that relationship ended. You know, my ex was very emotionally abusive, constantly blocking me on every social media platform you could think of, and then, you know, unblocking me and then telling me he loves me and blah 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 blah, and there were children involved, and not my children, I don't have children obviously, but yeah, his children, and it just really ended up in a terrible situation. Well, it did for me. I I guess in a lot of ways felt extremely abandoned, especially when I was going through a rough time in terms with my mental health, and he just couldn't understand that. You know, he would tell me that I was a psycho basically, and that I needed to go and be like sectioned or hospitalised. And Hex, can you please not? I'm trying to film a video here. So yeah, in February, please go away, little guy. So in February, yeah, basically I had a breakdown, and I was living with my mum and my sister at the time, and my mum had ended up taking me to A&E because she didn't really know what else to do. She contacted my brother, who lives in Scotland, because he works with mental health and addiction up there, and yeah, he basically just told her like, take Chloe to the, you know, to A&E, blah blah blah. So that's what my mum did. An ambulance came, picked me up. I was really suicidal at that time. Literally could not get out of bed. Like I was so anxious that I was literally throwing up like stomach acid, which really was not fun. I literally felt like I was dying. Got to A&E. That really affected me going to A&E because there were other people there This brush is absolutely horrible. They were clearly visibly mentally unwell themselves, and for me that is like a trigger because of seeing my dad grow. Like when I was younger, I would, you know, my dad was hospitalised, so I would, you know, see him quite a lot in an environment like that, and it really just kind of triggered me. Plus when they taken my blood, well, they were trying to take my blood, but I was so anxious about everything that was going on around me, I just wanted to go home. You know, and my mum was trying to explain to me like that hospital at this moment is the best place for me to be, because my mum felt like she couldn't leave me unattended, basically, in case that I tried to hurt myself. Like if she'd gone out, you know, to do the shopping or something and come back and, you know, found me, you know, that I'd done something to seriously hurt myself, then yeah, it was just not very good. So moving on from that, so went to A&E. They couldn't really do an awful lot for me then, because I was being incredibly like sick, that they couldn't literally talk to me because I was in no state to be talked to. Like they would be asking me important questions and I would like I threw up on their shoes, which was really mortifying, and I was like, oh my god, get me out of here, I just cannot deal with this. So anyway, after that, ended up going home. About 2 days later, now this is something that I'm going to talk about that I am extremely not proud of, and it just goes to show that like if you were to know me as a person, like actually in person, you know, I'm not like generally a violent person. I don't like violence, I don't condone violence, you know, period. But anyway, like me and my mum had an argument, and I am extremely, extremely, extremely ashamed of this, because, well, it was just completely unnecessary and uncalled for, and, you know, it just goes to show actually, you know, that you can get yourself into situations when you are mentally ill, that you know, that you do things that you are extremely ashamed of, and you know that it's wrong, but like for some reason you literally cannot control yourself. And when I have what I would call an episode, I tend to go into self-destruction mode. I don't intend to harm other people, you know, or anyone else. I get an urge to hurt myself, you know, or to get myself into a situation where I'm just not in control of, you know. Anyway, after the 2 days of coming back from hospital, me and my mum got into a bit of an argument. Can't even remember what it was about. It was like something completely obscene, but clearly, you know, at this time I was not in the right state to be arguing with anyone. You know, when it escalated, it escalated basically to the point of me going into the kitchen drawer, getting the sharpest, longest knife I could find, intentionally, well, for that reason, I was going to self-harm. And I was stood at the bottom of the stairs, and this is in our old house now, because we've literally recently moved. But like I'm stood at the bottom of the stairs, and the living room is here, and the stairs are like here, and I was stood at the bottom of the stairs, and my mum was stood at the living room door, like in the frame of the door. And we were just rah, 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 like it was just coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth like that. And I don't know why I did this, but I literally got like just chucked the knife like in her direction, because I was so like angry, and it's mortifying. Because that's my mother at the end of the day. My mum has literally done everything for me and my sister. Well, yeah, she has. I mean, you know, and that's when I really knew, oh my, like something is literally seriously wrong with me, because no one would actually do that. And even, you know, though it was like something that I didn't intend to hurt her, I just saw red. But that could have easily, you know, have changed the situation 100%. You know, that knife could have landed in her skin, you know. And after that, I really, like, I took myself away. I drove, which I really shouldn't have done, but we lived in a village. So we lived in a village, and I literally got in my car and like drove down the road, and then I phoned, I think it was 111, like not 999, but 111, because it wasn't like an emergency, but I really needed to speak to someone, and they'd spoke to me before, you know, and I was really like, oh my God, like I can't go back home because my mum is going to be scared of me now, and I don't want her to be scared of me. You know, I really need to go and get this sorted. You know, and not to that extent, but over the years, certainly for me, there has been behaviour like that where, yeah, it's just really not good, not good. So then after that, I'd phoned, you know, who I needed to phone, and they'd said, right, go back to Peterborough Hospital, go to A&E, you know, and we'll get you, you know, we'll get you set up a meeting to speak to the mental health crisis team there. So that's exactly what they did. You know, I managed to speak to a lady who was, I forget her name now, but was lovely, really understanding. Yeah, she was really nice. You know, she kind of said, you know, you need to go and get therapy. Put me in the right direction of therapy. I've currently now finished my course of CBT, which I found extremely helpful. It certainly plays a part in my everyday life now, you know, of do I really need to get angry about this or whatever. But so the second time that I'd gone to A&E, they put me under the mental health crisis team, and I was at home. I obviously had taken time off of work because I was extremely unwell, and I work in a care home looking after elderly people, and I just really wasn't in the mental state to be doing my job to the best of my ability, you know, and delivering care to people that, you know, obviously need it. So yeah, I'd gone, you know, and I'd gone to a mental health unit, like in Leicester, and spoke to a psychiatrist there, and she said that I have anxiety and depression, and that I show traits of borderline personality disorder, which, to be honest, wasn't actually really generally a surprise for me. Well, it was actually, because I'd seen, where's my powder? I'd seen a post on Facebook about BPD or EUPD, literally the same thing, depends what you want to refer to it as. It basically means that you're emotionally unstable, which definitely, you know, definitely, like, I could put two and two together from my behaviour over the years. My behaviour has been really like roller coaster. I have a lot of abandonment issues. I get attached to people very, very easily, you know, to the point it's like I literally feel like I can't go on without them. And that's what I felt like with my ex. It was like I literally cannot bear life without this person, even though he treats me like absolute crap on his shoe. And quite frankly, after all the abuse and stuff that I've endured over the years, I've came to the point in my life now where I think I don't need that in my life. You know, things have happened, you know, which really isn't the greatest, but, you know, I'm here now. I've done therapy. I'm not going to allow that to control my life anymore, which it has done over the years. I mean, the amount of times... Hex, please. This is Hex, my boyfriend's cat. Well, really, he's mine too. He's my little baby. We co-parent the cat. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. Oh, I forgot now. Too much powder. But yeah, so I'd been diagnosed with that. My goodness. Started my CBT therapy. That was really good. Went on to do bereavement counselling because I lost my dad when I was in secondary school. And I don't really think I had have dealt with that, but actually now I've found that I've done CBT and I've spoke about everything I wanted to speak about. Now that it's actually got to that, pardon me, that type of therapy, it was like, I really don't know what to say anymore because I've already said it to the first therapist I had and I've got everything out in the open, you know, and all of that goodness. And I've learned, you know, that my dad was like how I am as a person. You know, I have acted over the years like a complete twat, pardon my language, and my mum and my sister have still stuck by me regardless. You know, and I know along the way that my behaviour has hurt them along the way, you know, and I that makes me feel really sad actually, because my mum is an amazing woman, and I mean my sister, wow, I love them both to bits, you know, and it's just really sad that you know, that I have inflicted pain onto my family members, because they too are like, the three of us are like, I mean, don't get me wrong, me and Amber do argue sometimes, but like, we are still like best friends, you know, and literally she's like the number one person that I call if I have a problem, really. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to share this because, you know, I think people need to be made aware of mental health problems, you know, that it is real. And it's like, sometimes for me, I feel like, well, you know, because it's an invisible illness and you do sometimes do things that you wouldn't normally do, or you wouldn't say, or, you know, or you're just acting not like yourself, that it does get like to the point where you think, you know, is there something wrong with me, or am I just being an arsehole, basically. I have had those thoughts for a long time, especially before being diagnosed, you know, but there does start to become a point where for some people, that you recognise that there's an issue, you know, and I got to the point where I thought, you know what, enough's enough. I'm not carrying this around with me for the rest of my life. I haven't done anything wrong. I didn't choose any of these things to happen to me. These things happen. Yes, they've affected me, not in the way that, you know, anyone wanted them to, but it is what it is. You know, I'm here, I'm strong, you know, I have taken control. I'm not going to allow people that don't deserve to be in my mind. Like, I've really rambled in this video, but I did have like a lot to say. The blue hair has gone. yeah, I cut myself a mullet, but oh my god, I really don't like it. So this is the hairdo for now. Like, literally a bun. Why did I cut my hair? I really don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you here. But if you guys have any questions regarding who you can contact to get support with your mental health, then please, I will leave my Instagram tag down below, and I would love if you guys, you know, would get in touch and stuff, and you know, we could, you know, just have a support system. You know, I understand it's extremely difficult to talk about mental health, especially when you don't actually know what's like going on with yourself. I completely get it. And I love you guys, and I will speak to you in the next one. Bye.